If you invest 10,000 rupees every month for 30 years, the final number is so big, most people refuse to believe it's real. And the strange part is, the reason people never get there has nothing to do with money. It has to do with an instinct so old, scientists once found the exact same instinct inside an animal that had never even touched a rupee. Welcome to Bull Economic. We don't just explain money, we explain why it controls the world. Let's get started. Researchers handed Bull a pile of coins and taught him one rule: a coin buys food. Within days, he understood prices, started saving coins, even guarded them when he sensed someone might take them. Then the researchers changed the game. They offered Bull a choice: a small guaranteed reward, or a risky gamble that could pay off bigger or leave him with nothing. And the moment losing became possible, Bull stopped thinking clearly. He clung to what he had. Losing a coin felt far worse than winning one felt good. This is a real, documented pattern in how animals respond to money-like rewards, and it matches human behavior almost exactly. If a creature with zero financial education develops the same instincts as a grown adult with a bank account, your financial mistakes were never about intelligence. They're wired in. Most people think building wealth is about earning more, bigger salary, bigger savings. Eventually, wealth sounds logical, but Bull had no salary at all, and he still made the same panicked, loss-driven decisions people make with real money. The problem was never how much he had. It was how he reacted the moment losing felt possible. This reaction has a name: loss aversion. Losing money hurts roughly twice as much as gaining the same amount feels good. Lose 2,000 rupees, the sting lasts days. Gain 2,000, the joy barely lasts an hour. Here's where it gets interesting. Picture Bull with a single coin. Instead of trading it today, he lets it sit. A year later, it looks exactly the same. Nothing happened. This is exactly what investing feels like for the first few years, and it's exactly why most people quit right here. But if that coin is left alone and allowed to grow, and then that bigger amount grows again, year after year, something happens that no lab experiment ever gave Bull the time to see. This is compounding. Your return earns its own return. Every year, the base gets a little bigger, and a bigger base produces a bigger result. For the first 10 to 12 years, the growth looks flat, boring. This is exactly when the same instinct that broke Bull gets restless in you, convinced nothing is happening, convinced you should pull the money out. Then, past year 15, the curve stops crawling and starts bending upward sharply. By year 20, the numbers look unusual. By year 30, the amount looks less like savings and more like something that shouldn't be mathematically possible, even though every rupee of it is simple arithmetic. But here's the part most people miss completely. Two people can invest the exact same total amount over their lives and end up with wildly different results, purely based on how many years they let the money sit before touching it. Time isn't a background detail. Time is the entire multiplier. Without it, even a large amount behaves like Bull's single coin, present, but doing almost nothing. Why this is so hard? Your brain wasn't built for 30-year decisions. It was built for right now. Food today, safety today, reward today. So investing gives your brain nothing back immediately. No applause, no proof, while spending gives an instant hit. One feels real right now. The other feels like nothing, even while it's quietly working harder than almost anything else you'll ever do with money. This is also why a market dip feels so much scarier than it actually is. The same instinct that made Bull abandon a good bet the second losing looked possible is the instinct that makes people sell at exactly the wrong time, locking in losses that would have healed themselves with patience. Bull never got 30 years to prove his instincts wrong. What to actually do? Start now, even with a small amount, because the years matter more than the size. Expect the first several years to feel boring. That's not failure. That's the coin sitting quietly before multiplication begins. And when a dip triggers the panic to sell, recognize it for what it is: not wisdom, just the same wiring that broke Bull. Bull once panicked over losing a single coin, exactly the way people panic over losing money in the market today. The difference between Bull and you isn't intelligence. It's whether you can recognize that instinct and choose patience instead. So here's the real question. Do you actually understand compounding? Or do you just think you do until the first dip tests